Say, Ty, I'm eating 1,800 calories. I'm training 7 times a week. I'm doing my cardio. I'm doing everything. I can't lose weight, Ty. I don't have abs. It's almost summer. What do I do? What do I do, Ty? Oh no. If you do implement these things I tell you today, you're gonna get abs by summer. You're gonna be fucking shredded. You're gonna be on the beach. All the ladies are gonna be like, who's this stud? Mostly the dudes are gonna be like, this guy's shredded as shit. He looks sick. Anyways, enough with the yip yap yapping. I'm going to give you what you should be doing. Should you decrease food intake? Should you put energy output up, do more cardio, or should we do both? What are things that we can do to make it easier? What is the mechanisms behind losing fat or losing body weight? So there's going to be a lot of information here. If you got your notepads, take some notes, kids, because you're getting some free education, right? Get your education, go to school, or you can come to my school and learn how to get absolutely jacked and look sick. That's what I'm teaching. That's what I think everyone should be taught. So let's get into it. First thing, let's address, how do we lose belly fat? How do we lose weight? Majority of you should know it's a calorie deficit. All right, that's pretty simple. That's like me saying, if you want to make money or if you want to be rich, you got to make more money than you're losing, okay? That's essentially what a calorie deficit is. If you want to be leaner, skinnier, more ripped, you have to be burning more energy than you're consuming. So the more food I eat, the less likely I'm going to lose weight. The less food I eat, the more cardio I do, the more I'm going to lose fat, weight, so on. So that's a calorie deficit in and of itself. But how do I get into a deficit, Ty? What do I have to do? First things first, we have to know how much food are you eating right now and how much do you weigh? First things first, before we do anything, we have to know on a daily basis, weekly basis, what is your caloric maintenance to keep you at the body fat you're at right now? So let's start with majority population, a little bit overweight, don't have too much muscle mass on you right now, and you are eating, let's say, 2,700 calories a day. That probably fluctuates because you might binge eat or have cheat meals or beers on the weekend with the boys or girls, whoever may be watching it. Not too many girls watch my content, but if you're out there, shouts out. So, calorie maintenance. What is my amount of food I'm intaking right now with the output I'm doing to stay at the exact same weight I'm at? Once we get that number, we are going to decrease. So either do more output or cut calories. What should we do? That's the first thing we need to know. I like to take the approach as let's have an equal amount, but nutrition plays a bigger role because it's easier to track how much we're eating compared to the exact amount of calories we're burning. It's a lot easier to decrease calories and know that's the exact amount of food I'm eating compared to doing more cardio. I'm like, oh, was that 100 calories I burned, 200 calories? Because more often than not, you're not burning that much calories doing exercise. It all comes down to diet. That being said, we're going to start with our food, our nutrition. We're going to cut that back by 200 to 300. A lot of people like to jump it down like 500 to 1,000. And I get that if you need to be leaner for a certain date, but we should always start sooner rather than later. So if you wanted to get lean for the summer, you should have started in like January or February. You give yourself February, March, April, May, June, so 5 months. That's plenty of time to make great progress and lose a lot of weight. If you're doing it the approach I do, that is slow and steady. So we decrease calories by 300. We sit there. We don't do any more cardio yet. We don't do anything else. We don't change anything. We just decrease food by 300. Nice, easy amount. Might lose a half a pound, might lose maybe like 0.25 pounds. Or if you're at a higher body fat, you're probably gonna lose fat quicker just because there's more to lose. So, that being said, when do I increase cardio? Well, if you decrease your calories by 300, let it sit for about a week, maybe if your body weight keeps going down after a week, you stay there. If body weight's still going down, why make a change? let it come to a standstill, a halt for at least a week. Once when you hit the same weight for a week, then I would implement cardio. And this only has to be other steps, walking outside, maybe after every one of your meals, getting 10K steps a day to start. You don't even have to go and do running, sprinting, HIIT training, cardio on the treadmill. You just go get steps and track your steps. That increases our output and it's less fatiguing, so we can still put on muscle and maintain our muscle. Then we do that until, oh, you guessed it, weight stops going down for another week. Once when we hit a plateau for a week, we look at, okay, calories down by 300 from the start, cardio is now 10K steps a day. What should I do next? Well, let's think. If I need to burn more fat, I need to be in a bigger deficit. So we can decrease calories again by another 100 to 300, depending how fast you want to do this. I usually like to do at least 200 calorie decrease because it speeds up the process a little more and we don't get at a standstill. If you do this too slow, you're just not going to get the results in enough time and you're just going to be suffering on hungry and not getting the results you want. But that being said, still want it at a happy medium. So by another 200, 300 calories, decrease it. Stay at that for a week, get to a plateau. This could be a week, this could be 2 weeks. Once you hit a plateau for another week, let's introduce maybe 2 more cardio sessions. So on top of the 10K steps a day, I can do 1 cardio session, 2 cardio sessions for like 20 minutes per week. That's nothing, but it increases output. And if we're eating that same amount of calories, then our deficit's gonna be steeper. So do you see the trend that I'm going down to? Small increments, food, then cardio, food, then cardio. We still, and my approach is having a good balanced diet. So not just drinking all these sugar-free sodas and jellos and all this sugar-free ice cream. We need to have micronutrients. This is gonna be super important to how we feel, as well as how our body responds. Insulin sensitivity so that we can efficiently and effectively lose weight without having blood sugar spikes. As well, our macronutrients is gonna play a huge role. If we're not eating enough protein, which is 1 gram per pound of lean tissue. So find what you want your ideal body weight to be at. Let's say you're 180 pounds, you're like 170 would be okay, like 10 pounds lost. So your protein's 170 grams per pound of body weight. 170 grams of protein is what you'd be eating on a day-to-day basis. This helps us keep our muscle tissue, put on muscle tissue, so at rest we burn more fat. Now, as we continue to decrease calories, we get to a point of like, oh, my cardio is at 4 sessions a week at 30 minutes. My calories are down to like 2,000 or 1,900, and I'm starting to feel pretty hungry. I've been on diet, on track for, let's say, a month, 2 months, 3 months, and now I'm kind of getting to the point where, oh, I'm starting to get abs, I'm starting to get leaner, but I'm feeling the fatigue build up. This is when you can implement refeed days. So all that is gonna do is help us not feel so shit about ourselves and give us that little mental break. Not a big cheat meal, don't go crazy. Eat the same foods, just at a higher amount for like 1 to 2 days in a row. This resets your body, gives you a mental break, allows you to keep pushing further. All right, helps you from getting flat, helps you to push more in the gym, put more muscle on, keep it more so that you look better when you're lean. Another tip that I'm going to give you, okay, this is one thing that I've learned throughout dieting my clients, throughout dieting myself, is don't limit your fats, okay? People say, oh, you should just decrease fats, keep protein, carbs high, eat these high volume meals, and your fats are like in the drain. Well, kids, fats are essential for hormone health, for joint, for brain health, for all that important stuff. As well, it makes you feel more satiated. The biggest thing when losing fat is helping yourself to feel full more often than none. At a certain point, it's going to be very hard to do that. But the difference between very obese and fat people compared to people that eat whatever they want or claim to eat so much food and can't gain weight is our appetite levels, okay? So we have ghrelin and leptin are hormones that signal to us that we're either full or we need to eat more, we're starving and hungry. So the best thing to do is use certain things that are going to make our appetites lower. So I don't recommend getting into like super hardcore stuff like Ozempic, retatrutide, as you're still at the process. If you can lose this without these things, because this can have effects on your health, then let's do it as best as we can with natural supplements, with our natural diet and exercise. If, let's say, you get to a point of, oh, I just need something else to help, let's go with the ECA stack. So E, ephedrine, C, caffeine, and A, aspirin. This is a stack that just really helps suppress your appetite. You can get these over the counter, you can get these at the drugstore, whatever it may be. You can use this to help increase your output, your energy output, helps you with your satiety and feeling more full. Good stimulants like caffeine, ephedrine is another stimulant, helps you do a little bit more with cardio, opens up your nasal passages, and it's a great tool. I love using this when I'm trying to get super lean. Pre-workout, fasted cardio, I love it. Like, it just gets me absolutely dialed in, and I feel fantastic, and I'm not as hungry on it. As well, nicotine. Don't be vaping, don't be sucking on no fucking vapes. Get other Nicorette gum, like the patches that you can put on you, or have the pouches. Obviously, depends how old you are. Consult with a doctor or a healthcare professional before you do so, because I'm not a doctor. But this is just gonna help you with appetite control, and it helps you focus on, let's say, schoolwork or homework or business or whatever. It helps you focus more even when you're in a deficit, you got like brain fog and you feel like shit and you're tired. So caffeine, ephedrine, nicotine, these are all good supplements that you can intake to help with the satiety levels. Last but not least, there's much more we can get into, but I don't wanna make this video like 10 hours long. One thing that I will say is stop eating such calorically dense foods. This is gonna help you with your satiety levels, it's gonna help you feel like you're eating more. So higher volume foods for less calories. This is stuff like fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, carbohydrates like potatoes. Instead of having rice, swap all your carbohydrates for potatoes or oatmeal, because this is a lot more volume for a lesser amount of calories. In turn, if we can eat more food and feel more full, we're not going to binge eat, we're not gonna eat more foods. If I were to eat a jar of peanut butter and a Snickers bar, that's like all my calories in one sitting and I'm still starving. So if we take that into consideration, let's eat foods that fill us up more. Obviously we need to still eat proteins, fats, and carbs, but using things like vegetables, like big bowls of salads, less of fatty dressings, like we don't want super high caloric dressings like ranch or Big Mac sauce. So finding tricks online, certain foods, certain stuff that you can eat that's higher volume, bigger amount, fills up your stomach more for less calories. Makes sense, right? So if you do all these things and you get to a point of like, oh, Ty, I'm just really not losing any more fat, you're either lying and you're not in a deficit, or you're binge eating on the weekends and having all this food and drinks, or you just have a very shit lifestyle where you need to get medical help. Maybe your hormones are off, your thyroid's messed up. So if that's the point or the case, that's very rare. Go to the doctor, get things checked out, get your blood work done, very important, and then go from there. So that's it for this video. Hopefully you guys can use some of these tips, maybe get in shape this summer, and finally get some abs. Peace. I will talk to you guys soon. Subscribe, like, make sure you comment too. That's going to help out the algorithm. Really want to give you guys the best information that I've used for the past 8 years of my fitness journey, so you guys don't make the same mistakes I did. Awesome. Love y'all. Peace.